Hey guys, welcome to Prince of Peace Tarot. I'm Justin, and today I'll be doing a spirit reading for those of you with Sagittarius placements in your chart. So if you have Sagittarius anywhere within your chart, this reading can resonate with you. And if it does, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be updated anytime that I put out a reading. Okay guys, so before I jump into your spread, let's say a prayer. I praise the creator of all, supreme, omnipotent, and in all things. I praise all of the high and virtuous spirits who have walked the way of eternal light and love. I praise all of our ancestors from Mother Africa, who is the mother of the entire human race. I praise all of the spirits who died during slavery, in the Middle Passage, around the world, here in the United States, during Jim Crow, and today. Great Spirit family, since you are free of body and form, we know that you now have greater wisdom and greater power. We ask that you hear the call of your child and come protect us. Use your power and influence to help us solve our problems of money, health, family trouble, and racism. We ask that you somehow give us a sign that you are pleased with your children and that you are receiving our worship. Benevolent ancestors, open the gates of wealth to our people and guide us in the wisest and most effective ways to help all of Earth's children live harmoniously. Help us to remember we are part of the whole, part of God, part of each other. Ashe, ashe, ashe. All right, guys. Okay, guys, let's jump into the spread. It's a 6-card spread. I usually do a 5-card, but this is going to be a 6-card. I'm going to start in the spread and then work my way out to the top and bottom of the deck. I'm using the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Okay. So let's get started. We have your very first card is Closing Door, Completion. And then right after that, I'm going to read New Beginning. See, this is the card at the bottom. So we got an ending and a new beginning. So completion. Completion says, endings, completions, your greater call. When the closing door shows up, it's a call to recognize an ending, to terminate a relationship, job, task, or situation that has been dragging on far too long. Unlock the cage you have been trapped in and shut the door behind you. This is not the time to worry about what others might think or feel. Instead, break with your routine, consider what you think and how you feel, and be true to your heart's calling. It's time to walk out the door. If you don't see a door, but only a solid wall in front of you, ask for assistance. Muster the courage to say no more. Remember as well that no one else needs to be wrong in order for you to do what you've known you needed to do for a long time. If the door to a project or a relationship has been closed to you, stop knocking on it. You have tried that already and no one answered, at least not in the way you would have liked. Take this as a gift, difficult and painful as it may be. Okay, move on. Every door that shuts is an invitation to find another way, another path to your destination. Better to recognize this earlier rather than later. How many of us leave a relationship or job years after we knew it was time to move on? Stop wallowing in the pain and lingering on the reasons why things didn't work. It is keeping you from your greater calling. See sorrow like 5 of Cups energy, okay? Bow deeply before the closed door. Give thanks to the lesson and set yourself free, right? It's a whole different energy, not the sorrow and sadness. Gratitude, thank you. Thank you for leaving me alone. Thank you for not giving me that job. Thank you for not considering me, right? It's something better for me, all right? Man, it says set yourself free. Get out of things that you've been in too long. Something's been dragging on way too long. There's a new beginning for you, right? 41. Let me get this for you. Okay, hold on. 41 says Moon Maiden. Yeah, Moon Maiden. New ideas, beginnings, and curiosity. Moon Maiden. All right. The Moon Maiden arrives to offer you new beginnings, a new face and facet of yourself that is aching to be shown to the world. Those qualities that you have been quietly cultivating are ready for the limelight. The secrecy was important. for it protected your new face and kept what was precious close to your heart. But now is the time to come forward in full splendor. Announce the new you to yourself first. Reveal it slowly to the world, like the waxing moon. Allow others to be surprised by how mature and grown up this side of you is. Now it's time to set yourself free. So this is 2 times. The closing door and the moon maiden is saying, set yourself free. Like, set yourself free from relationships that are holding you back, ideas about yourself that are holding you back. Be your real self, whatever that real self is, whatever it is. You got to be you, right? So allow others to be surprised. Okay, I read that part. It says the moon maiden belongs only to herself, and she is summoning the parts of you that challenge convention. You know, like I said, be different. This feels like the same energy that I was picking up in your tarot reading today. So, challenge convention, that refuse to be intimidated, and that cannot be tamed and put inside a golden cage. The moon maiden invites you to shine with your own light, to have radiant curiosity, and to ask anyone who offers you a mouthful of dogma, why do you believe this is so? Guys, I don't know if you can hear that vacuum cleaner out in the hallway, but I'm sorry if you can. So let me read this part again. It says, the moon maiden invites you to shine with your own light, to have radiant curiosity, and to ask anyone who offers you a mouthful of dogma, why do you believe this is so? Question everything others assume is a given, and do not collude with the drama around you. Become an unpredictable being, yet an eminently reliable friend. The moon maiden invites you to answer only to yourself and reminds you that you are not anyone's property. Be true to your soul's calling. Even as some around you in a relationship or job want to capture your light. Y'all, God, I said that. The sun was out and it was adjacent to the 5 of Wands. And I said, they literally are trying to dim your light or steal from you. It started out 5 of Wands in the reverse, 5 of Swords closing it out. Competition, pettiness, stealing, man. Look at this. So, it says, be true to your soul's calling, even as some around you in your relationship or job want to capture your light inside a bottle. You know how to rise to the occasion, just as unfailingly as the moon does. When the time comes, you return to darkness and become enshrouded in mystery until you are ready to return again. Don't tell everybody your business. Stop telling people your moves. Be yourself, and you have no one to answer to. That's the title. I said, unapologetically you. You don't have to explain yourself. You have been waiting to be and do what you want to do, and have been living for others or allowing others to dictate, how your life is going. Whether it's your job, your spouse, your parents, you can't do this because it's not safe. What about money? What about the way you look? What about this, that, and the third? And it means nothing. Do what you feel is best for you, where you're headed, what you want to do. Okay? Whew. Moon maiden, you answer to yourself. Do they pay your bills? No. Do they buy your food? No. Do they take care of your children? No, you do. So why would you care? Especially if this is not even people close to you, the outside world. They could do nothing for you, right? So answer to yourself. Be true to yourself, okay? Let's keep going. All right, so your next card is Hollow Bone, Teachability, card 28. All right, let me get this for you. Give me a second. One sec. Hollow Bone, Teachability, Humility, being empty so that the wind of spirit can breathe through you. All right, let's go. So, the hollow wing bone of an eagle is a flute for shamans. The appearance of the hollow bone invites you to become empty of your notions of who you are, to check your ego at the door, and to know that this is not about you. Relinquish your need to be right and to express an opinion, and this will not change anything right now. You are being called to practice humility. Hollow yourself out and hear the wind blow through you and play you like a flute. You will learn the language of the squall and the storm. And it's funny because this says and the storm, and we have a card 44, perfect storm. So let's see what's going on. All right, hollow yourself out and hear the wind blow through you and play you like a flute. You will learn the language of the squall and the storm and understand the message in the summer breeze. There is an important communication waiting for you. Humility is the swiftest path for you to become like hollow bone. Drop all notions and titles that bolster your ego. Eliminate the doer and allow things to happen of their own accord. Remember that you can accomplish most anything if you are willing to let someone else take credit for it. I said allow, guys, sorry. Hollow Bone has come to caution you to believe only 50% of what others think and only 10% of what you think, okay? Trust your experience, not what you have read in sacred books or holy texts. This will allow you to turn apparent danger into opportunity. Wow. Remember that you are an insignificant grain of sand in the grand scheme of life and as important as the brightest sun. Okay, this card always gets me. I remember the last time I read this card and I was feeling like, what the hell? This is saying a whole lot. Like, they packed a lot into one card. The fact that they're even coming up with the shaman part is for you to remember your spirit and your soul, which was one thing that I noticed. If you guys, please go back and watch the tarot reading that I posted earlier. If you've already seen it, what I'm talking about is when I was seeing the 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. You remembering your spirituality, remembering your faith and humility, because when you're closing one door and you're starting something new, you're going to gain a lot from being your authentic self. But that opens up the world, the material world, to you even more, right? So what they're telling you is be careful. It says believe only 50% of what other people think. Some people are going to be hating. Some people have something, of value to tell you, and others just don't. And 10% of what you think, meaning your ego, because of all the good that's going to be coming into your life, can totally be inflated, like a lot. So you can't forget why your ancestors, God, are putting you in better positions, what it is that you need to do. Yes, you can flex and express your ego, but to an extent. You have to remember that I am a instrument and a conduit for my soul, for God, for the gifts that my ancestors are placing on me. You don't want to forget it, because your ego will block exactly why I put you in this position in the first place. You remember who you belong to, okay? So, but it's not saying that you can't express yourself. You can, it's just don't get too far off. Let me see. There was something else I saw here. Allow yourself to hear the wind. This allows you to turn apparent danger into opportunity. So remember, they said, trust your experience, not what you have read in sacred books or holy texts. Because sometimes, certain texts and books are outdated for the situations that we're dealing with in today's time. The same dangers of the past are not the dangers of today, or aren't dangers at all anymore, right? So for you, sometimes, because remember, dogma came up in one of the cards, you may stop yourself from doing a particular thing because of what someone may believe religiously and they're trying to place on you, but it has no bearing on you today. It just doesn't fit, right? So they're saying, trust your experience. Do what you feel intuitively led to do, okay? It says, remember, because sometimes as a shaman or as whatever it is that you believe you are, even you could become inflated on both ends, on a materialistic end and on a spiritual end. So it's like, I won't do that. I can't do that because I am, this holy spiritual being, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, if you had done the thing that you were afraid to do, you would have learned a spiritual lesson. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'll never drink alcohol. I'll never, smoke weed. You could have done it, but no one's telling you to do it all the time. Remember why something is negative, or remember why something is positive. Remember that things have positive and negative results and consequences. Where are you in your life? What have you learned? Because sometimes we abuse certain things. So for instance, like I said, in my past, I was too promiscuous, right? that doesn't mean, and even though I'm being celibate now, it doesn't mean I'm gonna never have sex. I like sex. I'm gonna have sex. But I need to recognize how sex is playing a part in my life. What do I need it for? How is it hindering me? Kind of thing. Like if I were to go off some text saying, don't ever have sex until you're married, then I would be missing out on learning something from other people or some form of experience, right? But if I'm abusing sex and constantly, making my body too available, now I'm hurting myself. I'm not learning anything, right? So it's knowing and finding the balance of where you are being led to go without feeling you're a bad person, right? And this is why you can't sometimes take too much of what other people are saying to you into consideration, because you have to follow where your heart and soul is going. Sometimes that dark path, you're going to learn something. It could be exciting, it could hurt you, but trust me, you're going to learn something. So trust yourself with whatever decision you're about to make, okay? Because usually, guys, when I talk about weed, alcohol, sex, and stuff, when we get cards that I'm saying you should abstain, you should stop, it's because possibly the energy is saying you've been doing too much of it, and now you need to sort of balance yourself out, right? So you know what you need to go completely cold turkey on. You know what you can do sometimes and not all the time. I'm not the judge of that, but what resonates to you. If you feel like I'm being excessive, stop being excessive. If you're afraid to do something that seems dangerous, but after you do it, you find out it wasn't that bad, Look, another example, guys. So on the tarot cast, I talked about that OnlyFans experience, right? I was really afraid to talk about that because of being judged, how people would look at me as a reader or whatever the case may be. But that's my own ego getting in the way of that. Like, who do you think you are? Other people have done that too, kind of thing, right? So while I'm over here beating myself up about that from a spiritual ego sense, I could be sharing a story. You know what I mean? Like, instead of judging myself about it. Now, after the experience, do I want to continue to do it? No. If other people continue to do it, that's on them. That's their life path. It has nothing to do with me. Nothing at all, right? You have to know what's best for you, what your life is meant for, okay? Trust your soul and your spirit, all right? So, where we at? It says, this will allow you to turn apparent danger into opportunity. Got it. Remember that you are an insignificant, and you're not insignificant. You are significant, but we are all, this is why I'm reading these cards in this fashion. We're all connected. We're all connected. So you do play a role in the grand scheme of things. You are not the whole picture. You're part of the picture, but a very essential part of the picture. All right. Your next card is, I'm going to do courage to step into life. Yes, 44. And this is why this card right here. When I see a crow or a raven, a craven, I gotta pull it out because that's one of my spirit animals. And I said, something must be in here that's important. So let's see. And I've never seen this card come out when I use this deck. All right. Perfect storm, an invitation to act now, the courage to step into life, sheltering from turbulence, okay? All right, it says, when the perfect storm appears, it cautions you to be ready for an exciting, if turbulent time. So things are gonna be exciting and they could get scary. But we mentioned that earlier in the tarot reading before, because I said you're gonna be meeting a lot of people. You're going to be networking, connecting with people who could help you get further, and then you're going to deal with a lot of jealousy, okay? So it says that the winds are picking up, and you need to make sure that you are close to the eye of the storm, or you will be buffeted by gusts that may take you far from where you need to be, by other influences. So stay close to the eye of the storm. You and the force work as one. But if you move from your center, from balance, and you let some other form of energy or something blow you out away from the center, then you're in danger. All right? Because there's going to be a lot going on. Like you're in the middle of a tornado right now, right? So it says the key is to remain centered and balanced and bear witness as the forces build in intensity. Notice how to lose, excuse me, notice how the loose stuff is starting to fly around, and recognize how little of it you truly need, right? Of all of the drama, basically. Let go of those thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes that clutter your heart and cloud your mind. Then the storm will be absolutely perfect for you. If you wonder what you might lose during the perfect storm, know that it is those things we are most attached to that are taken first, as if life were trying to unburden us of our righteous self-importance, which is what I was talking about earlier. You know, who do you think you are? You think you can't share something about an OnlyFans experience? You ain't the only person that's done something wild or crazy, you know? So, what does this say? But this, I want to go back. If you wonder what you might lose during the perfect storm, know what it is. Know that it is, those things we are most attached to that are taken first, as if we were trying to unburden us, from the righteous self-importance. Let it all go with the wind. The less you resist the change brought by the perfect storm, the happier you will be. Ride the winds to your next destination. Embrace the rain and the snow. Remember that every time you try to argue with nature, you lose. Okay, so you could be noticing like, okay, this storm is taking people and things out of your life. The perfect storm can also be a call for you to seize the moment. There might be a great opportunity that you need to take advantage of right now. Carpe diem. Here, time is of the essence, all right? It may be gone shortly, so do not hesitate. Go ahead, bite off more than you can chew, and take the storm on in all its terrifying greatness. Experiencing the fullness of life, you will succeed. See, some of you guys really are afraid to do something outside of the box. You're judging yourself about it. This is what I'm feeling. It's some sort of judgment. There's a judging thing going on. Let that go. Let it go. Oof. You have to trust. See, it's coming out the heart. It's the intuition. It knows. You think it's dangerous because we are talking about a storm. You think there's a danger around me speaking out, showing up this way or showing up however I feel I need to at this time. You got to be yourself. Wherever you are in your life right now, be you. Be you, and don't be afraid of what other people will think. And they're telling you to do it before you lose the window. Because I even told you guys before, like, even if this isn't speaking of Jupiter and Pisces, I mean, this is an energy that's going to go until May, and then it'll appear again in October towards the end of the year. But the first part could have been the most critical part of the energy. And then the second part could be what, boosts you even more, So you really want to take advantage of whatever it is you're thinking about doing right now, because this is just the time. Don't lose your window. Don't lose your window. Now, card 20, Feast of Plenty. Feast of Plenty. All right, give me a second. Feast of Plenty. Options, choices, and their consequences. Life's blessings, okay? A great feast is laid out before you and requires you to choose, okay? It says, what will satisfy your hunger? Something new and unconventional with its potential for bitter or savory qualities, or something you already know you love. You are faced with a plethora of options right now, and while that may seem to be an extraordinary thing, too many choices can throw you off balance. You might be worried that once you commit, you won't be able to turn back or refuse to confront the consequences of that decision. The most important thing to realize is that the feast is offering you experience. No amount of overanalyzing or strategizing will help. You make the right choice, will help you make the right choice now. Don't debate the right or wrongness. See, what we've been talking about is just judging and overanalyzing. Don't debate the right or wrongness. Instead, just choose. In the choosing is the seed of experience, and that is what is necessary now. Sour, bitter, sweet, savory. What matters is relishing the experience until you digest all that your choice is offering you right now. Only one warning: avoid the same choice. if it keeps you hungry. All right. If it doesn't fulfill you, avoid it. All right. So especially if you've done it already in the past and then it's coming back up as a choice again, leave that shit alone. So if something didn't feel good or does not bring you what is seemingly promised, do not choose that again. The experience will only repeat itself and you will have more than a bad taste in your mouth. The feast is yours to enjoy. You can always go back for more when you're hungry again. For life's blessings are ever available life's blessings are ever available to you and calling your name. All right? Life's blessings are calling your name no matter what happens. And don't be afraid because you're going to learn something very important and vital. All right? And it only makes you smarter for when you're strategizing and coming up with new ideas later. It's like, how would you know? You don't know. You don't know. It's a new beginning. You don't know. But if it looks like the past or feels like the past, leave it alone. Don't do it twice. Don't do it 3 times. Okay? Your last card is going to be Jeweled Web Connectivity. Jeweled Web. All right. Give me 1 sec. Connectivity, no separation, the feeling state. Approaching any oracle requires that you come in with certain expectations. You're either looking for confirmation of what you already know or attempting to shed light on what eludes you on the obvious path you're on. You're asking whether you will reach a desired goal of some kind. You're rarely able to see beyond memory or projection. And so naturally, everyone comes to the oracle with a narrow perception of what's possible. Imagine that the answers to your question is not about landing at a particular destination, meeting a goal, connecting to a special lover, reaching an end game, or experiencing anything specific. Instead, you discover a shimmering web of jewels that you didn't know existed. The world is interconnected in a living web of energy. It isn't possible to know how any of it works, but know this. What is in your highest good is a sparkling jewel that lights up for you among the web of possibilities. You just like all these choices, right? It says, sorry, my bad. It says, what is in your highest good is a sparkling jewel that lights up for you among this web of possibilities. You just need to know how you want to feel and choose this consciously. Take your focus off getting anywhere. Practice feeling and being in a place where your desired experience has already come to pass. Who will you be when this is true for you? Can you be that now? Feel that now. Practice that. The better you know your path within the web of life, the more it will light up for you. It is celebrating you already. You know, and this is, it's important to understand who you are and why you need to make specific choices for yourself. Because if you know how I play in the grand scheme of things, like playing my role, I'm not so worried about my outcomes because I've already chosen who I am. And by doing that, the outcomes I'm looking for are already going to come to me. So I'm not having anxiety or worry about that. I know my role, how I play. And I'm willing to just go down that path of experience because I know that, you know, I'm being truly me. So whatever is supposed to come from me being me is exactly what I need. Okay. That's one thing that I'm really picking up from this is you just being okay with knowing your part in the web, right? Not trying to always step outside of it, be something for somebody else, because that's when you have all the problems. That's when you're dealing with a bunch of problems, not being yourself. Give me 1 sec. Because there was something else I saw. Hold on. Yeah, so your perspective is narrow. That's what this card was saying. You have a narrow perspective. And that's the other thing I was telling you guys. You got to think bigger. You think you're going to achieve little things, you're going to achieve bigger things. But be open. Be more open. Be more flexible. Be less controlling about where your life is headed. You know? It's easier to make choices when you know who you are. It's easier when you trust your intuition. You start to understand how life flows, right? And trust where I'm going, you know, because like I said, these dangers, these tornadoes, you don't even understand. I'm already built for this. I can handle the storm. You know, you just didn't think you could. But when you follow your intuition, you find out, damn, I'm made of some tough stuff. And it's not all about having something harsh happen, because you can have something really good happen to you and get a lot of negative backlash. And it could be like that. But then you realize, damn, that didn't faze me at all. Right? So, you know, don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself short. Remember that there are going to be a lot of choices coming up ahead for you. Okay? A lot of choices. And, you know, the thing is, just be aware that all your choices have consequences. Choose according to however you feel is best, but, you know, try to stay centered, guys. Try to make your choices from a more centered, balanced place, not from being influenced, okay, by people either who are jealous, people who would want to take you astray, off somewhere else, you know. You've already had enough experience to know where you've been, what you're capable of, you know, what your weaknesses are. So move forward on your path from there, because good stuff is about to happen. You got new beginnings coming. Your things are going to be totally new. You're literally building a brand new life. All right. So that's what I have for you. If this reading resonates, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be updated anytime that I put out a reading. If you want to book a personal reading with me, the link to book is in the description box below. The updated or current Patreon playlist is in the description box below. Don't forget to check out my new YouTube channel, Prince of Peace Tarotcast, okay? And follow me on Spotify as well. All right, guys, that's what I have for you. I will see you later.